Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to another Pause and Pray. One of the many blessings of sharing space here at St. Luke's with a daycare is just all of the life and energy that the little kiddos bring. One of their almost daily activities is to color on the sidewalks of the church with sidewalk chalk. And I love that the little kiddos never stay inside the lines they first mark. They courageously color outside of those lines. And the results are masterpieces exploding with life and color. I think of the quote attributed to Albert Einstein that says, sometimes you have to color outside of the lines if you're going to make your life into a masterpiece. Today, September 21st, the church celebrates the feast of Matthew, apostle and evangelist. Matthew's own life was a shining example of God's ability to courageously color outside of the lines. Hardly the person or religious elite at that time would have expected to be chosen as a cornerstone to help build a church and the kingdom of God. Matthew was a Jewish man, but he was employed by the occupying Roman forces, collecting taxes from other Jewish people. And then in chapter 9 of Matthew's Gospel, there's the story told of a dinner party that Matthew hosts with other tax collectors and sinners. And Jesus' willing presence there irks some of the religious elites who wonder why he's daring to associate with such people, such sinners. And as a response to their anger, Jesus utters that beautiful line in verse 13 of chapter 9. I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners. Matthew's life shines as an example of God's ability to color well outside of the lines that sometimes we put in place in our lives. And that's truly good news for each and every one of us, because we all find ourselves outside of the lines from time to time. Today, in that light, in that feast of St. Matthew, we're invited to pause and pray and reflect on how we've come to experience God coloring outside of the lines in our own lives. Maybe it's when we find our lives outside of the lines of things like peace and forgiveness and joy, and yet we somehow find love reaching out to us anyways. Or maybe today we're invited and encouraged to step outside of our heads and our self-absorption for a moment and breathe in the beauty of creation all around us, or just admire the works of art that we might happen to find on the sidewalks in our neighborhoods, drawn by children. Those are just some of the many ways we come to find the gift that no lines can contain the love of God and where it longs to color. God's peace and blessings to you all.